What is up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video, as I'm going to be taking you through some of my Master League Premier battles with this team of Magnezone, Garchomp, and Gyarados. And you fellas in the comments are going to notice all three of these Pokemon are severely underleveled compared to their level 50 counterparts. Your boy is not the biggest grinder in the world. But that's okay, because although we've dropped quite a bit of elo in this league, we're like, you know what? Let's try and actually win some games. And that's what we're going to try and do with our team. Look at the CP difference in the Magnezone mirror match. It's not looking good. But we're going to wild charge here. We win, or we lose CMP, which is almost better for us in this mirror. Wild charge. Our own wild charge coming through. He probably has to shield, right? Yeah, he has to shield. We try to catch. He doesn't fall for it. And this is okay, because even though our Garchomp isn't quite level 50, it still has a much higher CP than this Machamp. He's going to shield the Outrage. We are up 2 shields at this point. I am going to no shield the first one, because I feel like it's probably a cross chop. And then he gets off another. I'm like, you know what? This is another cross chop. I probably just let this go. The concerning thing here is if the zone sparks me down, I could be in some real trouble. And then something really unfortunate happens, I think, if I remember this correctly. Yeah, so he sparks me down, and then I lag a turn, so I don't get the extra spark. And I'm like, man, if I shield this, I'm just gonna get outpaced. So I just put it all on Gyarados. And it's his own Gyarados. And can we still win this? Here's the problem, is that opposing zone has a ton of energy from that spark down of the Garchomp. So now I'm in a tough spot, and I was also debuffed, so I don't know if I live this crunch. And he baits me with Aqua Tail like a savage, an absolutely unnecessary bait. And what's unfortunate is calling the unnecessary bait would have been my only win condition here, because he had a wild charge loaded. Ugh, that's a feels bad, man. Have you ever been in that situation? Let me know in the comments, where like literally, like your opponent has the game and they just totally unnecessary bait you and you shield anyway, and it was your only win con was to just call an unnecessary bait. That's the absolute worst. We see a great lead with the Togekiss. Dragonite safe swap. Gonna wild charge here. I'm gonna swap in Gary. Now we need to retain switch. We need to retain switch here, because we can't afford to have our Garchomp lined up against that Togekiss. He goes for the Hurricane. Oh my gosh. That would have been bad. I get greedy here and overfarm too much. I end up losing CMP. So pretty bad there from me. But in a sense, I guess it's not the end of the world, because this will give the Togekiss a little bit less farm. So that's something. Gets only 3 charms as opposed to quite a few more charms. Gonna wait out our timer and be ready to swap. And it's a Gyarados. So I decide I'm going to go for my wild charge here to get this final shield, most likely. Actually undercharge it in case he lets it go. And then I swap Chomp. And we should be in a pretty decent spot here, because our zone still has a little bit of health, a little bit of energy. And I actually... it doesn't KO. I don't know if I undercharged that. And look at this. I stopped tapping because I want him to get me lower. And I don't want to give the Togekiss a chance to get a big farm. But the thing is, Togekiss only has 7 after this. So there's no way it's going to get to 2 moves against Zone before Zone gets to a wild charge. And we're just going to simply go for our wild charge right away. He gets 70 charms for 5 sparks. And we get the win. There we go. Zone can't be more than I don't know, what, level 42? It's not that much higher than its 3205 Hundo CP. Zone into Mamo. Okay, Mamo is a big core breaker lead, and it's actually pretty common too. So I lost to a few of these leads before I started filming these battles, and what I decided was the best play is to like swap and then just to act like I've got Mirror Shot basically, and then to like try and come out with energy in my next matchup and flash cannon the Mamo. So I'm not going to commit any shields here to Gary because I want to keep a shield, and we just like are going to pray that our flash cannon can land on the Mamoswine. Crunch coming through. Actually undercharge it slightly to get myself a little more farm. Gonna have to take a move here from Gary. That's totally fine. We can absorb this, no problem. I mean, I guess Crunch does hurt, but we can absorb it. Expecting the Mamoswine to come back in. And we are going to go for this flash cannon. Come on. Come on, Zone. Flash cannon. Bang! Knocks out the Mamo. And then there's a Metagross in back. And we're in a good spot. I just throw my wild charge because like these bullet punches are double resisted. So even if I debuff myself, Metagross is still going to have a very difficult time bullet punching down. So it's forced to throw. I'm just going to let it go at this point because I know I have a Garchomp in the back. Up a shield, and this is game over. Not even the shiny flex is enough to take out the Garchomp in the situation. We're just going to take the mash, go for the EP, the new album, and Garchomp going to take out Metagross. I also had the idea to frame this video as like enter the Chomp zone. The Chomp zone. Kind of like a good name for this team, I guess. Awfully weak to Mamoswine lead, but you saw we were able to play around it. Okay, D-Knight. So what I typically do here is wild charge and dip into Gary before he has the opportunity to superpower me, because it is tough. Oh man, I actually lose CMP here. I do respect the superpower. Okay. This is pretty decent since we get this off while he's debuffed. He shields. And he goes into Ursa Luna. I was like, huh, what the heck do I go into? I think Garchomp's the correct play. I was a little bit slow there, though. Because these things normally run Thunder Punch. So it's actually not very good for Gyarados. I know a high horsepower is likely coming in, so I'm going to shield. The problem is, now I have no shields remaining. And that Dragonite could be a real problem. So I'm going for an Earth Power here. It lands. I'm expecting Dragonite to come back and go for a big farm down. So I actually Outrage, and I may dip into Gyarados here. Let's see. I forget what I do. Outrage. Grabs a shield. Yeah, dip to Gyarados. I feel like I can't afford to give Garchomp, or sorry, to give Dragonite that huge farm of Garchomp. But now I'm concerned, oh wait, maybe this is double ground and there's an Excadrill and I'm screwed. Crunch lands. D-Knight gets there at the last second. And I have to hope if it is a drill, my Garchomp can outpace. So I'm going to come in with Garchomp because he's going to have to swap out. And it's a Metagross. And I'm like, oh no. I don't know if we can do this. I actually should have came in zone, but I was afraid it was a drill. But we actually gets the wild charge. And I figure our opponent probably was thinking, even if he throws an earthquake there, he just gets mud shot down on both Pokemon. So maybe that's why he didn't throw. Nice little win there. Let's keep on trucking. Let's get in the zone. It's like the cringiest saying I have when I run Magnezone teams. Get in the zone. Magnezone. Our opponent's playing the guitar. Solid lead here. I like this lead. Metagross only has 1,000 more CP though, so that's something. Yeah, dude, how are these bullet punches like keeping pace? Chestnaught. Huge core breaker to this team. Huge core breaker. beats, I think, our entire team. Don't quote me on that, but I think it beats all 3 of our Pokemon. So we're going to have to be tricky here to win this game. Frenzy lands. I'm going to have to throw here eventually. Should be an Aqua Tail range. And also that Metagross has a ton of energy, so I'm now like, do I want to shield? Yeah, because I don't know if I can, like, honestly even spark that down from there. So I shield. I'm expecting Metagross to come in. It's Gyarados, okay. But once again, that Metagross has a bunch of energy, which is going to be annoying for us. Maybe I should have swapped Zone right there. I have to feel like I have to take this. It's a crunch. I swap. Oh, this is so awkward. And I'm thinking, like, what the heck do I shield? Meteor Mash lands. Another one lands. And I'm like, oh, what the heck do I shield? I shield here at the last second. But the thing is, I'm not going to be able to double up here. I'm not going to be able to double up. And I don't even have Mirror Shot on my zone. So I think I had to let Chomp go was the only win con. And then hope my Sparks would have still KO'd first after I was debuffed. Yeah, that was the only win con. Because I would have had to charge. I would have had to charge Metagross. And then hope my Sparks still KO'd the Gyarados first, even after I was debuffed, which I'm not sure. So, don't know if that was necessarily a throw, but just didn't really play to my win condition, I think, is kind of how I'd phrase that. We get a little Goomy as a reward. And it's on to the next one. Toxico Dave. Zone into D-Knight. We've seen this before. He swaps Drill. I'm going to swap Garchomp. And this is where not quite being fully maxed out is going to hurt us. Because you're going to see 2 Drill runs is essentially enough to take out our Garchomp. Versus I think if we were fully maxed out, we could probably survive 2. But I'm forced to shield here. Kind of feels bad going down a shield in what should be a good matchup. I even undercharge this slightly, but he shields anyway. I get off another, and I'm like, huh. Do I need switch if he double shields? I think I get outpaced here. I wasn't 100% sure. Oh man, I was off on my catch attempt. That's brutal. I think I was 1 off. Okay, in comes D-Knight, so this isn't the end of the world. But it could be like double ground. That would be bad. Claw's going to land. We'll go for our crunch here. A debuff would be huge to help us farm this down. We do get the debuff. Very nice. But this is still awkward. It's an awkward amount of health for us to deal with. So actually, geez, I have to Earth Power it to get rid of it because I feel like I can't spark it down before a superpower. Oh no. And there's a Metagross in back. Jeez, that's bad. Definitely seems like we had some play that game. Could have been maybe a little quicker on the Garchomp swap. And I should get to 3 before he gets to 4, right? I should get to 3 before he gets to 4. So I think I just kind of misplayed that Excadrill swap with the Garchomp. And if I handled that better, I think it's a pretty standard win. Good lead here against Gyarados. Waterfall, so it's actually fine staying in. We're going to make sure we build up quite a bit. And I played this matchup a few times. What I end up doing is going to almost double. Or no, I do go to double. He goes Avalok. I'm just going to throw this while I have it because he probably thinks he like caught a wild charge. Bang. But dude, Avalok takes it on the chin. It didn't do as much as I thought. So my Aqua Tail here. And the problem here is that Waterfall Gyarados is still fairly healthy. And in comes a Primarina. And dude, bro, this is so bad. This is so bad. My Magnezone is so low, and there's a Charmer in the back. This team is designed, right, with double dragon. I know Gyarados is like a pseudo dragon that you kind of have to lure out the Charmer with the dragon. or with the Gyarados rather. And this is just so bad. This is so bad. Okay, he does swap, which I feel like gives me a chance, but no, it doesn't, because once he sees the Garchomp, he literally can just let Gyarados go and then save 2 shields for Prima. And there's no way I'm going to be able to Mudshot down that Prima. Still had like a good 35% health. So a tough one there, like such a good lead. Those are the worst games, right? You get such a good lead and the back line just kind of hard counters you. All right. Another Gary. Let's redeem ourselves. Metagross. So I'm actually going to stay in. These games were a few days ago, so I forget if I like win these or if I throw these. Our whole team is good against Metagross. Come on, Rise. We shield the mash. We get baited, which is unfortunate. Going for a charge here. See another shield come up. Honestly, I probably should have just stayed in and double shielded. But I catch, which is like okay, but it also gives him back like switch advantage in a sense, right? So I don't know if that was really the best play in hindsight. Going for a crunch here. I should get to another if he tries to farm me down. So I'm just kind of committing to the crunch here. He's forced to throw. We're going to come in with zone. Got lots of energy. Oh, and I mess up. I really mess up. Losing CMP here. Because I probably could have doubled up if I had just not thrown. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm not expecting Metagross to come in, so I'm trying to get out of here. And it is a drill. And I'm like, okay, we should be okay here. Should be okay. We're going to take the drill run. That Metagross does have energy, so that does concern me. I know he's going to try and catch at some point. And look at this, dude. I'm like finding the lose condition. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. So I'm like, okay, Rise. Let's not throw this game. Let's undercharge here. Let's go for the Mudshot down and come out here with an Earth Power. And I think I win CMP. Or he didn't have it, I guess, so. G to the G. Man, that was just so awkward. I should have simply just gotten rid of the Excadrill, right? Because then I would have just had the shield for the Metagross. Instead, I let the Metagross come in, take my shield, and made things scary. But don't be scared, little one. We still got the win, and we're going to try and keep on doing that. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. An example, you don't necessarily need Pokemon that are fully powered up to level 50 to have some sort of success in Master League Premier. Obviously, if you can power up your Pokemon to level 50, that's a huge advantage, and you definitely should do that. But even if you can't, you can still get by, still get some Stardust. If you're like trying to make a late push, maybe it's not the best idea to like play a level 50 league when you don't have level 50s. But if you're already like legend or already hit your goals and you just kind of want that Stardust, just want practice, I think it's perfectly feasible. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.